Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. I'm just gonna say it like here and now. If you can avoid getting the Roro, I would highly advise it. That was a miserable week. Huh. One day I was just having a great time, and the next day I was done with life. But way better now. Time to get back to the routine of recording and life and all that kind of good stuff. So, what are we waiting for? I know why you're here. Let's unbox a transformer. You know what's really great? When you end up with two of the same figure, because one gets to live in the box and one gets to come out of the box. It's the best thing ever. But the question becomes, how did I end up with two of the same figure? Because it doesn't actually happen very often. I'm pretty careful about making sure that all of my figures are unique purchases. It's happened like 3 times where I've done that. I once got two of Cyclonus, and I ended up giving one to my nephew because he loves the Transformers. That's what you call influencing correctly in the younger generation. And then there was another one I ended up with doubles of, and I gave one away. And this one, I'm pretty sure I bought one for myself. And when me and my husband were dating, he wanted to get me one as a gift, but he didn't know I had this one. So he got me one as well, which, okay, that means I get to open one. So let's open the 85 Studio Series RC, and let's check her out because she looks like a lot of fun. So I'm kind of glad I get to take her out of the box because yeah, she just begs to be displayed properly. So you may have noticed with a lot of the more recent figures that either the box is completely cardboard, or if it does have this here, you see what's missing? Look, yeah, there's no protective plastic covering. That's to reduce the amount of non-recyclable plastic that's out there in the world. Like, we all know about Garbage Island floating in the ocean. I get it. As a collector, it hurts a little because it's like, well, now I need more cans of air to keep them dusted. So I'm going to add to the landfill, whether you wanted me to or not. But, you know, I do kind of miss the aesthetic of having them, you know, behind the glass, so to speak, because it's kind of what it gives you when you're figure like those, like all my Funko Pops back there. I used to always say, like, I don't understand the Funko Pops. Who collects those? What are those for? And then that happened. So, but we all have properties where we're not going to go out and collect a whole bunch of figures, or they do something really unique. And I think that's where Funko Pops come in handy. Like back there, I've got like Black Panther, just about all of them, because obvious reasons. But they also did Daria recently. So I've got a Jane and a Daria, which love those completely. They're just fun little finds. And they just put out the Muppet Christmas Carol. Might pick those up because that's the only version of the Christmas Carol anyone ever needs to watch. Fight me over that. But yeah, so I mean, those all come with a little plastic, but I don't think most people take their Funkos out of the box anyway, because they're not action figures, they're statues. Like, I've got some that were like those Target ones where you get like 4 in one, and then nobody buys them and they go on sale, so you get 4 figures for like $2. I've got like a couple of those sets back there, one for Star Wars and then one for Thor. So they were cheap, so I took them out, and they're just out there on the shelf hanging out. But, you know, when it comes to figures like this that you want to preserve, and what everyone wants to preserve is different. This might not be a figure you want to preserve. But for me, obviously, because I have two, one of them is going to get preserved. I would like for it to, you know, be a little protected. Because I've got a big old bumblebee back there, like the Rodimus Prime I opened a few weeks ago, who is also hidden behind cardboard. And it hurts me to think that I'm going to have to open that box if I want to see the figure. It's not right. But hashtag first world problems. But I love a good figure. And especially, you know, seeing the comparisons between the stuff we had as kids, because I've got a couple of older toys and how they do them now. Like, there's some older toys I 100% think they did better. The faces used to have more detail back in the day on some types of figures. Some of the bigger, grander scale action figures tended to be more geared towards a collector audience rather than just a toy, so it could go either way. Like, that was kind of cool back in the day. And one of the things I do like about a lot of the older toys, and I wish I still have my die-cast Voltron. I used to have all of the lions die-cast, like the metal ones. But, like, they made toys out of, you know, metal back in the day. You know, so they were real heavy. Like, the black lion that was the center body for Voltron, like, he weighed like 9 pounds. Like, if you dropped that, you were going to lose a toe. It was so huge. And then all the other lions, their tails clicked into place, and you had the whole statue. Like, that was really cool. And now everything tends to be, you know, some type of resin, plastic, whatever. And it doesn't mean you still can't create a great figure, but I do sometimes miss the weight of those older figures. If you grew up 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you know what I'm talking about. Back when toys were dangerous. You know, back when if you tossed your toy to your sibling, like, if they didn't catch it, they were gonna lose a tooth. Like, those days. Like, good times, man. This is not that kind of toy. So I don't feel bad for opening it. Now, I've talked a lot about the female Autobots lately, and thank you all for your comments. Because, you know, the algorithm loves comments. But, you know, side tip for nerd dating, you know who doesn't need comments? That person that finally agreed to go to coffee with you sitting across the table. If they missay the name of your favorite action figure series, let it go. But she's great. So this one here is out of, again, the 85 series, which right now currently is my favorite set of Transformers to collect, particularly the ones that were featured in the movie. I cannot tell you how many times I watched that dadgum movie growing up and as an adult. It is just, oh, it's so good. This one here, it says on the back. Can I make that focus? No, I can't. Come on, focus. Focus. Ah. There. No. Nope, you refuse. It's focusing on me. It won't focus on this. But it says it's big screen inspired. So these are inspired by Transformers the movie, which is why they're my favorite set to collect. Because it's like, it's firmest in my memory. Like, I watched a lot of Gen 1 growing up. Loved it. Loved GoBots. All of that. But Transformers, like, cemented itself as, like, a property I love with the movie. I just thought that movie was the most amazing thing that ever came out growing up. But it's to scale. And what I really love is this is the Cybertron Falls version. So this is like the In the War version of RC. And during the movie, supposedly, the war for Cybertron comes to an end. This would also be the part in the date that if you dispute when the war for Cybertron ended, that you go, oh, okay, yeah. Do you want to get the bag? Do you? So, look at me. I'm here to help you. And the other cool thing is they include a backdrop with these. So when I set her up, she actually has like a cool little like diorama that goes with her, which is great because I was just talking to my family here, and we're going to rearrange my office a little bit because over here, these shelves that I have one more that's over here that I want on this wall, and then I'm going to shift some stuff over to have a more complete like display of all my figures on one wall. Most of them. A lot of them on one wall. Let me not tell lies. Like there's a lot here. Like my collection is creeping into the rest of the house. This is what's great about being with a fellow nerd. Y'all see him back there? Y'all see him set up? This is the wall y'all never see over here. Because my computer monitors are here, and if I have something up like for work or something, like it's like literally illegal for y'all to see that, but I'm not working. It's a Sunday. So no big deal. But yeah, he's set up over there. Yeah, there we go. But I've got a wall here that's got another shelf like those. They'll run over there, and then I'm going to put something else here so I can actually use the backdrop of my manga to do some filming as well, which that'll look really cool because then that'll set me up to where like if I wanted to do like super edited videos and have like the thing right here and you can see what I'm talking about and shit, yeah, that would be the wall to do that. So there's going to be a little bit of rearranging in here. I'm kind of excited about it. But that gives me more options for figures like this because when I have all of these tops of shelves together, that gives me like a longer display shelf, and they can support each other's. Because when I had them at my old house, they literally were all three just shoved together, and they like, I had them clipped together so that they were more structurally sturdy. So I'm going to kind of redo that a little bit here. Especially, 'cause, I mean, look at these walls. I mean, I cannot waste this. This is just, come on. Great. But I'm excited I'm going to get to actually have her out. So let's go ahead and open her up. Oh, this is cool. It actually gives you the play-by-play of the scene that's on the box. I never realized that until this very moment. It says, Arcee loses contact with the capital as the Autobots are overwhelmed by Decepticon forces. Like, that's the little, here, that's the little scene that ends up being displayed once you unfold it. What a nice touch. It's the little things that makes this so much fun. So, let's open her. I still don't want to destroy the box because I don't know what parts of this box go with the display just yet. So I need an implement of slicing. 1 second. Everyone should keep a handy tool at their desk. You never know when you're going to need to open an action figure in front of a bunch of strangers. So, nope, that's a bottle opener. Oh, there it is. Ha! The part that I can use. Is this gonna get me YouTube hand slap because I got this itty bitty little, look, that's all I'm doing with it. No one was harmed in the opening of this box, I promise. Oh, that magical moment. I had to do something to cheer myself up after the past week because, oh God, I just, like it, the one that's going around right now, just look at me for a second, look at me, PSA. You will think you have strep. That's what I thought I had. So I was just like, I'm just going to take it easy for a couple of days because, you know, I teach for a living. I literally talk for a living, and I just do this for fun. Can you tell that I'm trained to talk all the time? But I was just like, I'll just give it a couple of days rest. I'm fine. It's strep. And my guts are like, no, go get tested. Go get tested. And I did. And when when the nurse practitioner came in, she like stood back like on the other side of the room, and I was like, I got the vid, don't I? She's like, you have the vid. I was like, I thought it was strep because my throat was like on glass fire this time last week. Couldn't talk. I was like, oh, it was so bad. And she's like, yeah, this one shows up looking like strep, and then it turns out you got the vid. And I was like, okay, now what do? She said, well, it's going to burn itself out in about 4 days. Get you some Gatorade and go lay down. And I was like, huh, well, I wasn't feeling super bad. And then I got home, and then I woke up the next day. I did some work, and then I was done with life for like 4 straight days. It was bad. But yeah, if you think you got strep, go get tested because you probably have the thing. There's not really much they can give you for it, just like the flu and a cold. But it's good to know, especially if you have other people who live in your house. We did a good job. I did not go around, spreading my germs to my own little mission field. Didn't hurt me to stay in the house and watch YouTube for 4 days. I didn't die. And luckily for me, I can work from home, so I can like have my laptop, up in my bed and stuff and watch TV. And like I did several meetings, in the bed last week. Just wasn't on camera, obviously. So yeah, just be aware, like what you think you got and what you might actually got might be a different got. PSA over. She's open. Now there's no going back. I mean, there's video proof that this has been open now. So in 30 years, if I try to sell this, someone's going to be like, hey, I dug up this video from 20 and 23 that you opened this figure. Okay, so this is interesting. So I think, is this the scene? Just because this makes it look like it's a whole lot more. Or is it me? Doesn't that make it look like it's a whole lot more? I gotta quit covering up my light. But, okay. More. Oh. I can hear you from 500 miles away screaming into the computer that, wait, the cardboard fold out is in the box. Yeah, I know. It's an unboxing video. I can't make it 5 seconds. That's no fun for anybody. And if they don't open the figure the way you want them to, let it slide. Do you want to get the bag? I'm helping you. So it is in here. Oh! Oh, it has like a little stand. So I got like, I have Retgar, I have Cup, I have Blur, like all the ones that were like real prominent in the movie because just the movie was everything to me. I might have to, okay, I got a lot of wall space that could use more. And I might have to do some duplicating and set up the whole scene. Do these build out into like a whole scene? Like, you know, the spines of books, like The Simpsons did that until like season whatever it was, where they shaped the box like Homer's face. That was stupid. Ruined the whole set. But like you put them all together and like it's a whole, like it's a thing. Is this a panoramic? Do these tie together into one big scene? Have I been missing out? Oh, this bears more investigating. Looks like I gotta buy another hot rod now to find out. I mean, that's just the only way. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So she's gonna get a whole little stand here. Okay, okay, Hasbro, you did this for us. This ain't for the children. This is not for the kids. None of you kids were around in 85. I barely was. But this is not for them. This is for us. This is for us. Yeah. I love everything about it. That is so fun to put a stand for your figure in the box. I don't want to lose this. So actually I'm going to slide it back into the box until I figure out where she's going to go. And once I get like my little extra area set up, of course, I'll show it to everybody. So how did Bumblebee become like the Transformer? Like even when I was a kid, like I guess it's because Bumblebee was, you know, the friend to the kid protagonist of the series, Spike then Daniel. You know, like he was, you know, their best friend of an Autobot. And then it was Hot Rod. Well, it was more Hot Rod with Daniel. But Bumblebee and Spike were like the big thing in Gen 1. But like everything's like centered around Bumblebee. There are other Transformers. It's kind of like Marvel and DC. Y'all keep rehashing the same heroes over and over. How many heroes are in those comics? Like, honestly, some of the villains are way more interesting than the heroes. Oh, these are the instructions. We know how I do with instructions. RC turns into a bike, which is great. Nice power move there. She takes 23 steps to transform. 23. That's great. But now we must release her from her sarcophagus of cardboard and plastic. So it's interesting. So they took the plastic out of the front of the box. It's great. But all these little bands here, hear that? Plink. Those are all plastic. So the good thing about these though is when I was a kid, all of this were twist ties that took forever to undo. These, you got a couple of options. You can cut them, which is super easy, or you can take the little strand here and pop it back through the hole, which we're not going to do that. That seems stupid. That's going to work. Let's see. All right, so we're going to... I've got two, so it doesn't matter if I rip these or anything. I actually know somebody who is more in love with their Transformers than I am, and they would undo each of these little things on the box, like one by one, so they could put it back if they wanted to. You know what? Can't be mad. All of my Sailor Moon figures that are still in the box, I once had them hanging from the wall, but the way that I did it was I took a thin piece of copper and tied a string to one end and shoved it through the top of the box. We know there's a little gap from where it shuts and through the other side, and then a little triangle at the top, and then would hang it on the wall. So I can't be mad. I cannot hate the game, not the player. So, oops. All right, let's not take a finger off for the YouTubies. That would be bad. Oh, there's lots of these. Did I get them all? Oh, don't lose the weaponry. That is down there. Okay, here she is. I think I got her fully released. And there's just plastic falling everywhere. Ha! What do we think? Is she great or what? Granted, my favorite color is pink. So that may have had an influence as to why this is one of my favorite Transformers. But when I was a kid, pink was not my favorite color, like at all. You know, I had a goth phase in my teen years, like full goth, like full stop. Can you tell? Like black and purple were it. But now, you know, you grow, you grow, you change. She's fun. So what have we got going on here? Am I going to try to transform her? We've seen how that goes. I might have to do a whole series of me failing at transforming my Transformers. Just because I love them doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. Those are two different things. Let's see here. So, honestly, she seems pretty well articulated. Focus. Focus. Her face is white, so it's reflecting all the light. That kind of stinks. There. Oh, that actually worked. Yeah, so the face has pretty decent detail. You can see her insignia. And if you look, she actually has a lot of really good articulation points, and she's going to have really good balance standing. So these two tires back here on her heels are going to turn into, you know, the bike wheels, which is awesome. But what that's going to do is while she's standing, this is actually going to give her a little bit more stability when she's on her little plinth here. So, come here. So, I have her. Oh, yeah, they thought about it. That's why designers exist. So, there's a method to the madness for sure. Kind of love her. I want to see. I don't want to break her because even though I have another one, I don't want to break any of my toys. And I did not break my Rodimus Prime. Thought I did. That little piece popped right back in, and we're just not going to touch him again. That's what's going to happen. You're going to leave him there and read the instructions, and then maybe I'll consider trying to transform him. But that's a challenging transform. So these will come out. See, the hardest part on these, I think, with the transforming is what do you do with the chassis? Like, if you're trying to transform them and not follow the instructions, is making sure you do the right thing with their centerpiece. Because if you don't, you're going to break their head off. But, oh, this might be one of the easier... Oh, hold up. Is something happening here? Maybe. Maybe. Are we doing a thing? No, we're not. That was a false alarm. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back before you break it. Now, I'm that kid that you can't take to the museum because I'll touch everything and break it all. Yeah, I love her. Yeah, she's going to be great. But what does she come with? There's always accessories. Where'd the rest of it go? Here it is. What is she coming with here? They got to be blasters of some kind. Oh, wow. Those are wedged in there. Come on. Those are going to have to go right back down in the box or I will never see them again. Yep. One little blaster. Oh my god. He does not want to come out. There we go. And another little blaster. So, the other RC that I have, that I opened a while back, came with much better guns than this, I will say. Oh, but they clip into the hands pretty nicely. I don't like it when I have to like force the pieces of a figure together because again I feel like I'm gonna break it. But no, she actually fit together quite nicely, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I don't feel like she's gonna break. Honestly, if she fell off one of those shelves, it's carpet in here, so I don't think she'd wreck herself. That's another thing. It's hard to want to display your figures unless you have a place where you can put them where they're not going to, you know, be destroyed. I happen to be in a nerdy family, so everybody respects everyone's figures here. Like we got lovers of Gundams in this house. Obviously, all the things that I like, you know, our D&D figures and whatnot. So everyone's very action figure respectful. But if you got little curious hands in your house and you want to take this stuff out and it not get wrecked, you know, just put it in a box in the attic and wait till they're grown and leave. If I have a complaint, and this is going to be so absolutely trite because I do like the figure quite a bit. And I like this whole... I'm going to investigate if this is a whole thing that it ends up being. But if you look at her face, black light so it can focus. If you look at her face, it's just, it doesn't have the life in it that the movie does. I know that sounds weird when you're talking about a robot, but part of the fun of, you know, the whatever the Transformers are, you know, they're these sentient mechanical life forms. You know, they had expressions, they had life, they had emotions to them. You know, you could put your humanness on them, and like it worked. This, I don't know. What do you think? Like her face just feels flat, I guess. Like it's got good detail. I'm not saying that. It's got great detail. But it just feels... Don't look at my nails. I need to do them. I haven't done them in like 2 weeks. I don't know. She just feels like she got the dead eyes going on. I feel like these figures are good homages to the movie and the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 models. But I also feel like they're pulling in some of that like Michael Bay aesthetic a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? To where they made them, for lack of better phrasing, more robotic than human. You know, part of the reason we're able to connect with stuff like this is the humanness of it. When you take too much of that away, it kind of like detracts from the fun of it, you know, kind of, you know, wrecks the whole suspension of disbelief. But still, all in all, good figure. I like her. I can't wait to find a spot to display her that will be rather fun. So, do you have this figure? I have others back there. I'm thinking about unboxing a Quintesson. I don't know when Bumblebee's coming out of the box. Like, I unboxed that guy, and that just about broke me. So I almost broke the internet, apparently, too. And for those of y'all wondering if I found the Matrix, you can keep wondering. I'm joking. I found it. It was in his chest. I was scared to open the chest because when I first tried to open it, it wouldn't open. I was like, well, maybe this is not a piece that opens. And, you know, God forbid I read the instructions. That's not going to happen. But no, I finally did manage to open it without breaking anything. And there sat the Matrix of Leadership. So till all are one, I found it. Is everyone happy? All right, so that was a fun video to get back into the swing of recording. And it was also me procrastinating because even though it is a Sunday, I do actually have work that I need to get done. I didn't get done at the end of last week. So I wanted to do this first before I tuck into doing a presentation. That's probably going to take me the next 2 or 3 hours to complete. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on Wednesday for Warhammer Wednesday.